Perhatian, sang putri merak yang tertiup angin, aku Pavolia Reine dari hololive-ID. Hi everybody, how are you guys doing in this fine day, night, whatever time it is over there? Hi! Hi, how are you guys doing? Yay! We're gonna be doing something interesting today. We're gonna be doing something new. We're gonna be doing a live reading today. And we're gonna go do that in a little bit, but first I want to just say thank you everybody for coming today, and I'm really excited because what I'm gonna read today it's actually part of one of my favorite series, so yes, I'm really excited about it. Oh, thank you. Hi, good morning everybody. Hello. Hey. Aw, somebody didn't sleep well again. Oh, it's fine. I hope you can sleep better next time. Tonight, maybe. But yeah, I'm just glad that you guys are here. But yes, let's move on to what we're gonna be reading today. Because I really want to show you guys. First off, I want to show you guys the cover. You guys can see it in the thumbnail too. But I want to see you guys. I want to show you guys here too. Excuse me. Let me just. Yes. Let's move here. We're just gonna keep the BGM on, but maybe once we start reading, we're gonna turn off the BGM for, maximum immersion kind of thing. Yes. So as said on the title of the stream, and as you can see, we're gonna be reading the light novel version of Little Witch Academia. It's actually one of my favorite series. How many of you guys are, fans of Little Witch Academia, or how many of you guys have probably either watched it, or a lot of people probably watch the anime. It's a really good series. So if you guys are curious, please do check it out. Why are they riding brooms? Because they witches. Because they witches. Come on. Little Witch Academia is really amazing. Personally, I did watch the short movie and also the series. So I haven't read the light novel yet. So we're gonna explore this together. A little bit of story, not story though. I'm gonna be reading this from Bookwalker. Bookwalker is an ebook store that sells manga, light novels, and lots of magazines. I like reading. Do you guys like reading? I like reading my stuff, and I find that ebooks are really practical, and you can, browse through lots of collections that they have, because they have this really up-to-date collection. I was really happy when I realized that I can read the light novel of Little Witch Academia, and you can find your favorites or like browse for new titles to read. You can explore basically. It's really easy and practical. It's really nice. I'm so excited to read. I want to read. And I'm sure you guys are excited. And about this light novel version of Little Witch Academia, so if you can see the subtitle, it says The Nonsensical Witch and the Country of the Fairies. This is the volume 1 of the light novel, and it's written by Momo Tachibana. As you all know, the original story is made by Studio Trigger or Yoshinari. And if you see the illustration, who is drawn by, I think you guys might find the name very familiar. The illustrations are drawn by Eku Uekura sensei. Very nice art style, very cute. Inside the novel too, there's gonna be like some illustrations, and they're really cute. I can't wait to let you guys see it. It's really good. The story is really good. I just like it so much. So I'm really excited. I think the story is a little bit different because we'll see new characters in the light novel. So I'm really excited to find out what kind of adventures Aqua will, experience. The story is really good. It's a really good story of friendship, and you have dreams and realizing it, and you guys definitely have to give it a try. But yeah, and if you see the one at the bottom left, if I have a code. I have a code. If you ever want to dive into the world of practicality, into the world of ebooks, you can. The further info is available in the description. But I do have a Bookwalker coupon. If you're new, you can use the code Reine to get 600% Japanese yen. So that's approximately like $5. The code is valid on Global Bookwalker JP for English books like this one, the one I'm reading. It's in English, so no worries. And and it's only valid if you're new. So if you want to dive into the world of ebooks and be like me, I swear it's worth it. It's really worth it. You can use my code. And yes. More details. You can see the details in the description. Maybe after this you also want to buy Little Witch Academia. Please buy it. But anyways, I think we're gonna start reading because I want to show you a lot of things that are, that we have in this like novel. See? You can. Okay. Do this. Copyright stuff, translation by Taylor Angel, cover art by Uekura Eku Sensei. The Japanese title seems to be Little Witch Academia Detarame Majo to Yosei no Kuni. Wow. First published in Japan in 2017. So, yes. Let's start reading, shall we? I really like. So I'm really excited because I just can't wait to read. So yeah, this light novel is from 2017. In case you guys are curious, about the timeline, which came first and everything, Yum. Yay! Yay! And here we have the characters. You see this? Character introductions. We have our main character, Atsuko Kagari, or called Akko. A girl who came from Japan to become a witch. She's not great with magic, but she's cheerful and optimistic. Who is your favorite character? For those of you who know about Little Witch Academia, who's your favorite character? I want to know. We have Lotte Jansson, a kind, sincere girl. She can use songs to summon spirits. We have Susie Manbabaran, a poison fiend. She takes life at her own speed and is a little odd. Then we have Diana Cavendish, a prize pupil. She's smart and can even perform advanced magic. And we have Professor Ursula, the magical astronomy teacher. She kindly watches over Akko. And we have Shiny Sherio, the witch Akko idolizes. We have Amanda, a foul-mouthed delinquent. She is a very skilled broom rider. Ram. We have Constance, a machine hobbyist. She's very quiet and it's hard to tell what she's thinking. And we have Yasminka, a big eater who's always munching on snacks. Very relatable. Yum. We have Feoras, the king of the Kate Sith. He's a bit pompous and has a short temper. We have Sifla, a 6-year-old witch who lives on Dora's Hill with Feoras and Alan. And we have Alan, the king of the Kusith. He's incredibly lazy. So maybe those of you who watch the anime, we have some unfamiliar characters here, but we're just gonna dive in and see what they're like. The illustrations are very cute. I like Alan because he's a dog. Alright. Yes, I think we can move on. The characters are super, super cute. I love them all. We're gonna start. And then we have the contents. We have a lot of chapters we can read, but I think I'm gonna read from 1 up to chapter 3. I think it's safe to read up until that point. If you guys are curious, let's read this without further ado. Look at this illustration. It's really, 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 really cute. It's really cute. Look at this. It's just Susie and the wow, the potion accident. I love how Lotte is just like oh. Okay, let's read. It's so good. I haven't even started reading. Okay, let's turn off the BGM and we can start reading. Full concentration mode. We're gonna start reading. Is the sound okay? Let's start reading now. Chapter 1 is called The Floundering Witch Who Can't Ride a Broom. My name is Atsuko Kagari, and I knew my destiny when I was 6 years old. At an outdoor stage, under a sky full of twinkling stars, I saw a magic show for the first time in my life. I watched as birds made of light flew out of the Big Dipper, and from their brilliant glow appeared a red-headed witch. She was Shiny Shario, the person to whom my destiny was tied. Falling stars showered down on us, and fairies materialized in front of our chests. When we tried to catch them, they slipped through our fingers, flitting up and away. Beyond them, a centaur waited in the night sky, and Shario raced past on her broom. Even now, I can remember it all very, very clearly. Shario showed me a whole new world I'd never known, a world where magic definitely existed. And she taught me that it was both incredibly fun and a way to make everybody happy. A believing heart is your magic, said Shario as she waved her magic staff, shiny rod, at the sky. When you reach out your hand, your story will begin. That was when I made up my mind. I was going to become a witch too. Someday, with my own 2 hands, I was going to make my dream come true, just like Shario, the best witch in the world. It was gonna be a story by me for me. Well, at least that was the plan. I hate this! I don't want to do this stuff anymore! I planted my face onto my desk. I'm so done with this. This isn't why I came to Luna Nova. 10 years had passed since the night I decided to become a witch. Now, at 16, I'd gotten my heart's desire and come all the way from Japan to attend Luna Nova. Luna Nova. It was the school Shiny Shario had gone to, a distinguished magical academy straight out of my dreams. Ever since I'd been officially admitted, I'd been looking forward to attending it more than anything. Oh, I just knew I'd be bursting with talent and pulling off even the most challenging spells. I could already hear the professors. Miss Kagari, you truly are Shiny Shario's successor. But reality was much different. Magical numerology, magical pharmacology, magical astronomy. The only things piled up in front of me were textbooks crammed with complicated theories. Well, sure, magic was magic. It was nothing like anything I'd studied in school up until now. I even learned how to find goblins and make magic potions for the first time at Luna Nova. But come on! What I wanted to do was, wave a wand like ka-ping and bam, and cast some flashy spells. The kind that filled you up with wonder and excitement, like Shario's show. Not this studying kind. Which kept me glued to my desk and was full of lousy stuff I had to memorize. Seriously, what's the point of learning about the magical world's past anyway? The textbook I had open was for magical history. It droned on and on about the history of witches. But excuse me, it really doesn't matter what a total stranger did 100 years ago. Like, I don't care about it one bit. You just gotta deal with it. It's your fault for napping in class. Ako? My roommate Susie spoke callously, as though it had nothing to do with her. Lifting my head, I hit her with my most withering glare. And that was because of you, Susie! You made me drink a sleeping potion! If you wouldn't yawn with your mouth wide open, maybe these things wouldn't happen. Your fault for being careless. How? I yelled, then remembered with a start, and hastily clapped both hands over my mouth. Susie grinned at me. I'd seen the eyedropper she was holding. Oh wow, that was a close one. She'd almost gotten me again. Susie's hobby was collecting poisons, and if I gave her half a chance, she'd use me as a guinea pig all day. Thanks to that, I'd landed in this wonderful little mess today. I mean, I'd been just the tiniest bit bored, so I yawned, like anyone would. That was all. I'd even covered my mouth with my hand so the professor wouldn't see it. Look at this illustration. Very accurate. Very accurate. Ako's just covering her mouth. Oh! And Susie's just like, ha 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 ha. Ah, that's a good illustration. I like that so much. Oh, hold on, sorry. Okay. And Susie had still slipped in from the side and squirted some of her homemade sleeping potion into my mouth with an eyedropper. Just one drop, and I was out like a light. Professor Finneran, our magical history teacher, got so mad she almost burst into flames. But apparently I still didn't stir. They shook me and pinched me, but I didn't so much as twitch. Susie, you jerk! What kind of powerful potions were you using on me? The upshot was that I was the only one in the whole class to get homework. I was supposed to copy everything from chapter 1 to chapter 3 in the textbook. 40 pages worth. Into a notebook by the next day. Seriously. Punishment didn't get more tedious than that. Long story short, all of this was Susie's fault. But she showed no signs of trying to help me. She was busy organizing her collection of poisonous plants. I swear, what was so fun about staring at scary weeds day in and day out? As I sigh, for the umpteenth time, my other roommate, Lotte, smiled wryly at me. The three of us had been sharing a room ever since the entrance ceremony. The homework's hard, but it isn't all bad, you know? She chided in her easygoing way. What about this is good? You weren't born into a family of witches, Ako. Susie and I learned these things growing up, but you hardly know anything about history. If you take this opportunity to learn about witches properly, it's sure to come in handy. But do I really need to memorize it? Like, if there's ever anything I need to know, I can just grab a book and look it up then. Maybe it's not useful right now, but I bet it will be eventually. That's what studying is for, after all. Geez, Lotte, you're such a goody two-shoes. I pushed my lips out in a pout and balanced my pencil on top of them. I wasn't even halfway through my homework, but I really didn't feel like doing it anymore. Lotte stepped in to placate me. But Ako, if you don't finish your homework, I doubt they'll let you go on the field trip. A field trip? I blinked at her. What trip? Nobody told me about this. Susie shot me a look of irritation. Oh, Akko, you really don't listen to anything. The professor told us about it today, remember? When? During our magical history class. In case you forgot, that was your fault, Susie. Oh yeah, you were asleep, huh? Stop pretending this has nothing to do with you. Now. Lottie slipped in between Susie and me to keep us from attacking each other. So we're all going to Dora's Hill tomorrow night. Dora's Hill? Mm-hmm. It's been said fairies have gathered there for centuries. It's a really special place, full of magic. Fairies? Special? Words I love to hear. Exciting. They're going on a field trip. Cute illustration. She certainly had my attention. Lotte smiled at me knowingly. I went there with my grandma a really long time ago. Oh, it's wonderful. You know, they say you'll receive a blessing if you stand at the very top of the hill and let the full moon shine down on you. Oh, I got it. So that's why we're going at night. Yep, I think it's a yearly event, a sort of good luck ritual for first-year Luna Nova students to become full-fledged witches. Oh, and we'll be leaving at 10 p.m. 10 p.m.? But that's when they turn the lights off. I think the magical powers of the moon are the strongest between midnight and 2 in the morning. I can't believe we get to go out so late. Isn't it exciting? Wow, sounds like so much fun. Will you be able to go, Akko? Susie scratched her cheek. The trip's tomorrow evening, remember? Will you make it in time? Oh, sure. It'll be fine. If I've got that to look forward to, this homework will go by real fast. I'll have it done in a jiffy. That's not what I meant. Susie's eyes swept across me to the broom propped up in a corner of the room. Lotte let out a small gasp. We're taking the ley lines to the hill. Huh? Meaning we're going by broom. And you can't ride, Akko? Huh? I seriously doubt you'll be able to learn how by tomorrow. What? I jumped to my feet on reflex, and my chair fell over with a bang. That's impossible! Nobody told me about this! Oh no. Alright, girls, are you ready? With a soft smile, Professor Ursula mounted her broom. I listened as everyone energetically answered her. Yes! You know, my idol, Shario, used to stand on her slender broom, riding it through the night sky like a snowboard. Sometimes she'd even use her momentum to do multiple spins in midair. That's why I kind of assumed witches could ride brooms as a matter of course. I figured because I'd gotten into Luna Nova, I'd learn to ride one without any trouble at all. Well, let me tell you, I could not. It didn't matter how much I hopped around or fervently chanted my spells. My broom wouldn't respond to me one bit. It normally wasn't a problem. I mean, it wasn't not a problem, but if I needed to go into town or get around the school, I could just walk. That wouldn't work with the ley lines, though. They have a whole lot of magic in them, so we can cast spells anywhere as long as we're close to them. Oh, and they let us travel around by broom, too. Our destination tonight was several dozen miles away, but it was on a ley line, which meant we could catch a magical current and be there in no time at all. Or at least, I should have been able to. Technically. But since I couldn't ride my broom, I had to sit behind Professor Ursula on hers. I'll be honest, it was seriously uncool. Miss Kagari, are you alright? Hold on tight so you don't get thrown off. I will, I grumbled. I mean, I was thankful Professor Ursula volunteered to be my mentor, especially since I was floundering in pretty much all my classes. She's always smiling and super kind, but just between you and me, she's sometimes a little too nice, so you can't always count on her. That said, she's way better than the other teachers who are constantly mad at me. That still didn't cancel out the fact that I looked totally dumb right then. Sure enough, I heard spiteful snickers here and there. I can't believe there's a witch who can't even ride a broom. A blot on Luna Nova's reputation. It's absurd for an ordinary person to even think they can join the witches in the first place. Okay, whoever said that, get out of here. I'll shut you up for good. My right fist was raised and ready to go, but I slowly brought my left hand up to restrain it. After pulling an all-nighter to finish my homework, I really wasn't in the mood to cause trouble and get my trip privileges revoked. Be patient, suck it up. To tell you the truth, I was gritting my teeth so hard they were about to shatter. Express contempt for others and will always come back to you. Everyone instantly fell silent at the sound of a dignified voice. It was Diana. No one is without weakness. It's unbecoming to find fault in others while turning a blind eye to yours. What a disgrace to Luna Nova. Ooh, you tell them. Diana Cavendish. She's a girl in my class with fluffy, wavy hair. Some people say she's the best student in all of Luna Nova's history. On top of that, she's really pretty, super smart, and from a very distinguished family. She can effortlessly cast even the most advanced spells. Basically, she's perfect. From what I've heard, there are several Diana fan clubs. Not just at Luna Nova, but in the magical world at large. So what? Back home, I was... On second thought, that doesn't really matter right now. That's just like you, Diana. How very admirable. Her sidekicks, Hannah and Barbara, cheered her on. There they go, following the crowd again. Give me a break. You two were the first ones to badmouth me a minute ago. As I growled audibly, I made eye contact with Diana. She was undisturbed, cool, and collected. I couldn't help but look away. Ooh. Whoa! This is Diana and Hannah and Barbara. Very, very cool. Diana with, like her crossed arms. Very, very cool. I really like Diana. Let's go. I mean, it was nice of her to defend me, but it didn't make me the least bit happy. I was super embarrassed, actually. But Diana didn't even seem to care I was ignoring her. She looked as snooty, as composed as ever, and I was the only one acting immature. That bugged me too. Now, if we take too long, dawn will break, girls. Let's be off, shall we? Looking out at the group of students as they finally quieted down, Professor Ursula raised her magic wand. Fly, my broom. Tia furere! No sooner had she said the words than the broom we were riding rose into the air. It moved with such ease, you'd never have thought it was carrying both the professor and me. Starting with Diana, the other students started chanting the spell and began to rise, one after another. Proceed to the ley line in order, please, and follow Professor Finneran. They flew into the entrance of the ley line one by one, while I gazed up at them in total silence. Professor? When do you think I'll be able to fly? I whispered when Lotte and Susie were the only ones left. I'd flown properly just once. But it was with the help of a legendary broom, the Shooting Star. It was a rowdy one with a mind of its own, but it could zoom around all by itself, even without a witch on board, and I could soar through the sky just by clinging to it. Well, we were going so fast, even that would been a job and a half. I wished I could ride the Shooting Star again. but that probably wasn't possible. I mean, all it did was run wild, so there was no way it would take me where I wanted to go. I had also tried asking Professor Ursula to put a spell on my room on the sky, just for the day, but she refused, and that was that. Everyone has their own pace, and we all have our own strengths and weaknesses. It's perfectly normal for you to take longer than others. After all, you've only just begun studying magic. But this isn't like you, Miss Kagari. What happened to that catchphrase of yours? My catchphrase? You know, a believing heart is my magic. That's why you have the shiny rod, isn't it? It's because you believe. Uh-huh. Nodding. I softly touched the shiny rod at my waist. This was the magic stuff Shario used. Why do I have such a special staff, you ask? I found it by accident in the Arcturus forest. I got lost and wandered in there with Lotte and Susie on the day of the entrance ceremony. And I've also used it to cast spells. Well, only one, and I haven't heard a peep out of it since. But still, that's why everybody says it's probably a replica. But I believe it's real. The shiny rod is my greatest treasure, a talisman that gives me courage. You never lose heart in the face of failure. I'm very impressed by your resilience, you know? People usually get discouraged. I know I couldn't get back up on my feet so easily myself. Are you trying to tell me I have no shame? Wait, what? Is that what it sounded like? No. That isn't it. Let's see. At first glance, she looks sharp and competent with her tiny glasses and all, but Professor Ursula is the kind of person who would trip over absolutely nothing. Honestly, she is pretty careless and scatterbrained. As I watch her scrambling to find the right words, my bad moods start to seem more and more ridiculous. Besides, it felt like just touching the shiny rod had given me a burst of energy. Aw, so cute. You're right. There's no point in worrying about what I can't do. Yes, exactly. That's the spirit. I'm practically destined to become the next Shario after all. Overcoming hardships will only make my future shine brighter. Yes. Uh-huh. That's another reason for me to soak up lots of light from the full moon tonight. If I get twice as much light as everybody else, the effects should be twice as strong. Well, I'm glad you've cheered up. The professor sounded a bit overwhelmed as I hugged her tightly from behind. Okay, Professor, let's hurry up and go! I think you should learn to be a little more disheartened, Akko. I heard Susie mutter beside me, but I really didn't care at all. The fairy seal, the light of the full moon. I was thrilled just thinking about it. I started smiling in spite of myself. Come on, Professor, hurry! Let's go! Look at that Susie. That Susie is just Aw, and Akko is just so excited. Excited Akko and Professor Ursula just being like, okay. Aw, she's really cute. Alright, let's continue reading. And just like that, I stopped dwelling on Diana's smug face, the other students' sarcastic laughter, and everything else. My heart swelled with anticipation. I just knew I was gonna soak up lots of moonlight and get another step closer to Shario. That was the first chapter. How is before we continue reading the second chapter, I wanna how is it? How is the first chapter? We're gonna take a small break as we discuss about it. You know, when I read novels, when I watch something, you know, as I wait for the next chapter, as I wait for, you know, the next episode, I like chatting with different people. Like, you know, discuss like your favorite scenes, your, you know. It was nice. Okay, Can't wait to see more of Diana. Me too, me too, me too. It seems like Diana is trying to defend Ako in her own way. I'm really excited to see how it plays out later on. Yeah. Oh, it's really good. Favorite character is definitely Professor Ursula. Yeah, sometimes like you just relate a lot with the characters. It really makes your reading experience much more fun, because all the characters, they're really interesting in their own way. They have their own different traits. But hold on, excuse me, give me a moment. I'm gonna recharge, I'm gonna get a drink, and then we're gonna resume reading the second chapter. Those of you guys, if you wanna grab a drink or something, have a short break, feel free to do so. You guys can read with me while you're relaxing. Water. Ahem. Okay. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? We're gonna be reading the second chapter. Sure. Reading mode. Okay. We have Sifla, the witch who guards Dora's Hill. Ooh, Sifla. We saw her in the character introduction page earlier. And let's see what's gonna happen in this chapter. How many chapters are you planning on reading? 3 chapters. Dora's Hill was basically a modest mound covered in long, unkempt grass. More like a clearing than a hill, really. Hold on. A short ways down its gentle slope, a forest enclosed the entire hill. Lotte told me 13 sacred trees grew in a wide ring just before it. When we got to the very top, I saw there were some big, bumpy boulders in another circle. You guessed it, 13 of them. In the center of it all were 2 enormous rocks, standing upright with a third rock lying across them, kind of like a roof. Wow, it looks like a torii gate, I blurted out, puzzling Susie and Lotte. Torii? Uh-huh, those ginormous gate-like things at the entrance of shrines. Shrines? That's where the Japanese gods are... You know what? Never mind. What is that? Stone Doras. It's the symbol of Dora's Hill. That's what the professor said, remember? Lotte flashed a dry smile. This thing? Huh. They kinda just look like plain old rocks to me. Torii gates generally have shrines behind them, but these boulders didn't seem to lead to anything. They just kinda stood there uselessly. Oh, did I mention there was nothing else to see on this hill? I mean, there were some rocks lying around and a few shrubs with white flowers, but that was pretty much it. What are we gonna do here, of all places, in the middle of the night? I want a refund. All that excitement for nothing. As I sulked, Lotte pointed up over our heads. Like I said, we're going to bask in the moonlight. It's better to do that in an open space where nothing gets in the way, right? Ooh! So that's what it looks like. Ako's like, it looks like a torii. And and because Lotte and Susie are not from Japan, they're just like, what? Yeah, Akko. Just being Akko. She's a curious girl. That's fine. The illustration, I really, really love the illustration. It's so good. And hold on. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Following her finger, I looked up to see a perfectly round moon shining brightly, surrounded by glimmering stars in the night sky. Wow, okay, this was pretty amazing. If I reach out, I bet I could catch the moon and all the stars. Dora's Hill was discovered 300 years ago. It's said the coronation ceremony of the Fairy King was held here, under the protection of the 13 sacred trees. Professor Finneran spoke with a stern face. Gah! I definitely hadn't noticed her creeping up on us. A coronation ceremony, huh? So the ceremony to crown a new king? How would they do that here? I believe that was in the homework you submitted this morning. I was under the impression you copied down some facts about the Fairy King. Yes, I think so, maybe? Professor Finneran gave out a big, long sigh, and I laughed awkwardly, hoping she would leave it there. Like I'd actually remember details like that. I had 40 whole pages to copy, remember? I never would have finished if I had paid attention to the content. Well, if your textbooks don't have enough information for you, I'd advise you to read Sifla's The Origin of the Fairy King. They say she entered the country of the fairies over 300 years ago. She was the first witch to make a contract with the Fairy King. I kind of remembered reading that in the textbook. Maybe. Let's see. I think it said the sacred trees protected the peace on this hill. Yeah, that was right. And the 13 trees each serve different purposes and roles. Hey, look at that. I did remember. I'm a freaking genius. Professor Finneran, if I recall correctly, Sifla went on to become the guardian of this hill as the only witch to win the confidence of the Fairy King, said Diana. Ooh, even though we weren't in class, she'd raise her right hand high in the air. The professor nodded. To be precise, it wasn't her alone. The role of guarding the hill was given to her family, handed down from generation to generation. As a general rule, the fairies don't welcome any meddlers, but successive generations of Siflas continue to protect their space so they may spend a few restful moments on the sacred hill. In that case, are you sure it's okay for us to intrude in such a large group? Lotte had timidly raised her hand. This isn't class, people. No need to worry. Over the years, Luna Nova has signed a contract with each Sifla to provide her support should any trouble arise on the hill. In exchange, we have permission to bring our students once each year. That said, should we set foot on the hill without her permission or make an inordinate amount of noise, we'll still be held accountable. Yahoo! Just as Professor Finland's eyes started to relax for once, this earth-shattering yodel reminded them to return to their usual scowl again. Yeah, we already know who this voice belonged to, but we looked up anyway. Amanda O'Neill, the professor raised her voice to rival Amanda's. Get down here. I'm sure I said you're forbidden to ride your broom without permission. Oh, don't be such an old stick in the mud, Prof. I can't keep my poor broom locked up on a night as nice as this one. She was spinning around one moment, hanging from her broom the next, flying through the night sky with the control of a seasoned acrobat. Ooh. Heh. Never mind that. Calm down this instant, or you'll face disciplinary action. Tch, boring. Pouting, Amanda descended slowly. Ooh, with the professor right there, we didn't dare burst into applause. But I had to admit we were all in awe over her broomsmanship. That was Amanda for you. She could never sit still and loved getting her nose in mischief, especially if she's on a broom. Yeah, this is Amanda, and this is Constance, and this is Yasmin. We haven't seen these two, but here it was. We see Amanda here. Grudgingly, she landed beside Constance and Yasminka. We all thought that was the end of it until Professor Finland saw Amanda's two friends and scowled again. Constance, Emily, I know you've been informed that tinkering with machines is strictly against school regulations. And Jasminka Antonenko, please put down your snacks. Even as the professor yelled at her, Jasminka was crunching away on her potato chips. As for the machine fiend, Constance, oh geez, she was welding again. Sparks everywhere. Wait, that looks like a bazooka. I wonder if that's dangerous. At her wit's end, the professor turned to glare at me. Honestly, between you and that trio, this year's class is riddled with troublemakers. Huh? Me? Why, of course. Mayhem follows wherever you go. Be on your best behavior tonight. If you do something to anger the fairies, you'll have no grounds to complain about your punishment or expulsion. Yes. Hold up. Why is she going after me now? I had an issue with that, but I let it slide so I wouldn't have to deal with an annoying, lengthy lecture. But you should know, Professor, the Guardian's gonna scold you for shouting and screaming. Tonight is particularly dangerous. The door to the country of the fairies will be easier to open, said Diana, looking at me sternly. If you circle Stone Doras 9 times on the night of a full moon, it's said you'll enter the realm of the fairies. What's so bad about that? Sounds kind of fun. Were you not listening to what the professor said? The fairies aren't very friendly, least of all to those who enter their territory uninvited. Diana put a hand to her forehead theatrically as she let out a dramatic sigh. I'm telling you, that right there was the definition of contempt. If the fairies find you, they'll take you captive immediately. You'll probably never return to your old world again. In fact, if taking you captive is all they do, you're lucky. They say some are unfortunate enough to lose their lives. As she spoke, Diana gazed at me with cold eyes. After all, Akko, you're rather foolish. Be very careful not to wander around and lose your way. Even I wouldn't accidentally walk around something 9 times. We'll see. She snorted, turning her back without waiting for me to respond. She makes me so mad! I clenched my fists, trembling, as Lotte gently patted my back. Aww. Ako. That's cute. This one's really cute. This is a really cute drawing. Cute one. I like the smug face. They always say to treat others the way you want to be treated, suggested a voice. I don't want to hear that from you of all people, Susie. Now, since we're here, let's take a walk. Oh, and I brought some herbal tea. I thought we could let the moon reflect in our teacups as we drank, Lotte said as she brought out a teapot. What's that about? Is it some kind of spell? No. In volume 247 of Nightfall, there's a scene where the heroine, Belle, goes on a nighttime picnic with Count Lancelot. Well, he's actually harbored feelings for her for a very long time, but just can't bring himself to say so. And his longing for her is depicted in a terribly romantic way during that moonlit... Okay, I cut her off hastily. Most of the time, Lotte is calm, relaxed, and very well behaved. But when she starts talking about the romance novel Nightfall, she always ends up delirious with excitement. If you let her, she'll rave about it all night long. Alright then, let's all have tea together. What do you think, Susie? I'd rather collect leaves from those sacred trees. From the trees? Won't they get mad at you for that? I shot a glance at Professor Fenelon. Oh good, she doesn't seem to be listening. Not if they don't find out. See, medicine can also be used as poison, which means I should be able to get all sorts of effects from the sacred trees if I put them in different compounds. Don't go testing that on me. We'll see. She laughed only when she was plotting something diabolical. I'd have to watch my back. I didn't understand why the professors got mad only at me. I mean, Susie was a real problem child too. Professor Finland, called a voice from the distance. Professor Ursula came running up the hill towards us. It's no use. She won't come out. The professor was panting for a breath, and her shoulders were heaving. She must have really booked it over here. She answered me from inside the hut, so she's definitely there, but... Well, the child's always been shy. She's probably afraid of strangers, even if they're teachers from Luna Nova. Which child? I interrupted the two of them. Professor Ursula looked at Professor Finneran for permission to explain. When she got a nod in response, Professor Ursula continued. We're talking about Sifla. Huh? You mean the guardian of this hill? Yes. She lives in the hut at the foot of the hill, but... Looking troubled, she folded her arms. The previous Sifla... Her grandmother passed away a month ago, and she's been living on her own ever since. Now that she inherited the name and became the new Sifla, we need to renew our contract with her, but she's refused to meet with us. And she doesn't have any other family members? Lotte asked. The professor shook her head. From what I've been told, her mother died in childbirth. And so, the current Sifla is only 6 years old. 6? I shrieked. And she was a guardian? Not only that, but she lived by herself? Yes, that's right. We're just as worried as you are. We'd really like to meet her and talk with her, but nothing can be done. We'll call on her once more before we leave, and if that's no good, we'll simply come again another day. That said, if we don't make haste, the contract will expire. We'll have to come up with a plan of some sort, Professor Finnelan said. Professor Ursula just looked down somberly. Can you believe that? 6! She's still a little kid! We were drinking some of Lotte's herbal tea next to Stone Dora's. I'd run away right off the bat. I mean, there's nothing here and nobody to talk to. Well, yeah, you probably would, Ako. What's that supposed to mean? You only ever sleep, eat, and talk. I mean, duh. Those 3 things are the basics of life. She must be lonely, mused Lotte. Until now, she'd been entranced by the reflection of the full moon in her cup, but she abruptly looked at us. Growing up, I didn't have any siblings, and I was constantly reading, so I didn't have a lot of friends. When I was a kid, I spent most of my time at my family's secondhand shop, talking to spirits with my grandma. So I guess I wasn't alone in the real sense of the word, but I was a little lonely. When I heard that, I stood up. Okay then, let's go see her. Huh? Go see who? Lotte blinked rapidly. Sifla, of course. She's just going to get yelled at again, Susie said with a glower. I smugly laughed at her. Well, the hut's down the hill, remember? You might be able to pick up some leaves from the sacred trees if you go. She twitched. Besides, if you make friends with Sifla, maybe you'll be able to get leaves without collecting them on the sky. That doesn't sound half bad. Right? Now that Susie was on board, Lotte was disconcerted. But Professor Fiddleland said she'd be going later. And if we barge in beforehand and put her in a bad mood... Oh, come on. She's a 6-year-old girl. I'm sure she'd be much happier playing with super cute students instead of that scary-faced teacher. Are you seriously calling yourself cute? Grumbled Susie, but I paid her no attention. That was because my mind was already full of thoughts about how we could help out the professors if we could manage to pull Sifla outside. Like, they seemed really troubled that they hadn't been able to meet her. And they'd definitely think a little better of me then. You're concerned too, aren't you, Lotte? We still have some herbal tea left. Let's invite her to have some with us. They wouldn't get mad about something like that. Probably. As I said, probably with a whole lot of confidence, Lotte and Susie exchanged an uneasy glance. But with one look at their faintly flushed cheeks, I could tell they didn't plan to object. As a matter of fact, they were all for this plan. Okay, now that we've settled that, let's hurry up and go. I waved my fists wildly. We were going to visit Sifla, a witch who'd made a contract with the Fairy King. I was betting she could teach me an amazing spell or two, but let's keep that a secret between you and me. I mean, I was mainly worried about a little girl living by herself, of course. We all trotted down the hill, secretly following Professor Ursula's footsteps until we found a hut hiding at the edge of the forest. Did I say hut? I meant to say cellar. It was basically some dirt piled up into a small mound, probably just a little shorter in height than the professor. At the center of it, there was a single door. Did she really live in this? I went to stand in front of the hut and knocked anyway. Hello! It's nice to meet you! I'm Atsuko Kagari! I'm a new student at Luna Nova! I called out loudly, banging on the door. Do you know Shiny Shario? She's a witch, and I really love her and respect her, and she's like my idol! I admired her so much, I decided to become a witch when I was 6 years old. That's the same age as you. There are still a ton of things I can't do, but my dream is to one day perform in a magic show full of hope and dreams, the way Shario did. Tell me, what's your dream? Ako, you're gonna startle her with a big speech like that out of nowhere, warned Lotte. Really? Isn't it better to give her a proper self-introduction? Your definition of self-introduction is a little off base, Ako. Susie warily interjected. Why? My dream of catching up to Shario is like an essential part of me. How am I supposed to introduce myself without talking about that? Just do whatever you want. I'm going to look around over there. Susie crouched down in front of the towering sacred tree nearby and began picking up fallen leaves to scrutinize them. Once she gets like that, Susie won't budge no matter what. Listen! I'm here with my friends Lotte and Susie. Susie's obsessed with collecting poisons, and she's honestly kind of weird, but she says she's interested in siseikat trees, so you might actually hit it off. Oh, but I think you'll get along better with Lotte. She can talk to spirits. We also brought some herbal tea to drink together. Come talk with us. After I said all that without pausing, I stopped pounding on the door and fell silent. Oh my gosh, she was pounding the whole time. There was no response. Not even a single sound. Was she out? But Professor Ursula had said she was definitely home. As I tilted my head and wondered what to do next, Lotte stepped out closer to the door. It's nice to meet you. I'm Lotte Jansen. I'm sorry for intruding on your space so suddenly, Sifla. Lotte started to speak in her haltingly gentle way. I brought some homemade herbal tea, based on my favorite novel. I blended chamomile and juniper berries and also thyme. There's actually a special secret ingredient in it as well. It's indigo? Lotte's eyes grew round as a whisper filtered out to us from the other side of the door. That's right, it's indigo. How did you know? Indigo has purifying powers, and it's particularly effective on the night of a full moon. It's the same way Lancelot made herbal tea for Belle in Volume 247 of Nightfall. She said this all very fast in a voice as high and clear as a ringing bell. For a 6-year-old, she sure sounded like she knew her stuff. The door opened just a crack, and we could tell someone was pecking out at us from the other side. It was Sifla. I almost launched myself at her, but Lotte reached out and grabbed me in the nick of time. She shook her head and silently mouthed, "Not yet." So you're a Nightfall fan too? Sifla, may I call you that? Uh-huh. Lotte, who's your favorite character? I'm all for Arthur. I feel so sorry for him. He's never rewarded for his efforts, but he's just so sweet. And I think it makes him all the more dashing, don't you? I get it, but I'm more of a Colin fan. He may be a womanizer and a narcissistic mad scientist, but he's unexpectedly reasonable. And I really like how he somehow ends up as one of the good guys, even though he doesn't mean to be. Oh, I know. Sifla, I bet we'll really get along. I couldn't follow their conversation at all, so I just kept glancing from Lotte to the door and back. Oh, Lotte, you're amazing. All she did was talk about a book, and now she was friends with Sifla. Thank you. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone like this. Now let's talk some more. Would you like to come out and have some tea with us? The door slowly swung open. Illuminated by the moonlight, Sifla finally appeared in front of us. She was a delicate girl with long silver hair, the color of the moon, as soft as cotton candy. She covered her head with a hood and wore a pure white dress under her coat. I swear, she could have stepped right out of a fairy tale, and her beauty gave Diana a run for her money. But I was more surprised by the color of her face. She was so pale and white. She looked as if she might vanish at any moment. Her large eyes were red and bloodshot, and there was a dry, salty residue on her cheeks. Aww. I could tell right away she'd been crying until we came. I felt my heart tighten. It's been a month since her grandma died. Had she been crying by herself that entire time? Oh, I couldn't even imagine how lonely she must have been. It made me sad just thinking about it. Aww. Aww, poor baby. Sifla gently shook her head upon seeing my reaction. I wasn't crying before because grandmother died. I mean, of course, that's very sad as well, but... Then what's the matter? Was somebody bullying you? No, that isn't it either. she solemnly hung her head. As her mature profile darkened, her eyes started brimming with tears. Then she sighed softly through trembling lips and looked straight at us. My friends are gone. Your friends? Firas and Alan. They've been with me since I was born. They're like family to me. But they ran off a few hours ago, and neither of them has come back. Sifla sniffled. I've been looking for them, but I just can't find them. This has never happened before. Say, Ako and Lotte, would you look for them? Huh? Us? Yeah. If you if you find them, I promise to talk to the Luna Nova teachers. As Lotte and I exchanged looks, Susie was still off collecting her leaves. We gotta find some friends now. Okay, that was the second chapter. How is it so far? This is really exciting because, you know, we finally made up with the Sifla. Oh, anyways, I think somebody mentioned to me that, you know, the T in stereo is not silent. But I think in the series, that's how you pronounce it. That's how Hako pronounces the name, Shario. So I'm just sticking with what they call them in the series, and in case even though, I mean, if I happen to miss any pronunciations or anything, feel free to correct me if you guys know the actual pronunciation. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing everything correctly, I feel like. Yeah. I need more Diana and Sifla in my life. Yeah, so cute. They're so cute. But right now, yeah, we finally meet up, and then she's telling us to find her friends, which we earlier saw in the character page. We saw some illustrations. It's really interesting how Ako and friends are gonna meet, the two of them. And how is the field trip gonna go on, I wonder? How is it going to go on? This story is great. Yeah, it's really great so far. But let's continue, shall we? We'll take a small break and take a drink. You guys can drink if you want to. And then we'll continue to read. And then after we finish reading chapter 3, we're gonna talk, have a talk again. Alright, let's read more. We have off to the country of the fairies. Oh, so this is a continuation straight, from chapter 2, right? Because we have a new task to do. Hold on. For starters, could you describe your friends to us? Pioras and Ellen, right? Are they both boys? Sifla shook her head. A cat. Huh? Pioras is my pet cat. So, is Alan a cat too? No. He's a dog. But they're both my precious friends. They're all I have. Sifla's face crumpled. Uh-oh, she's gonna cry. Now that I was on the spot, I puffed up my chest in confidence. Okay, I'll find them for you. Really? Sifla's eyes suddenly shone. Startled, Lotte tugged at my sleeve. Wait a minute, Ako. But I couldn't back down now. I stuck my chest out even farther. It's totally fine. Just look at how bright it is tonight. If we all look, we're sure to find them. That doesn't mean you should just... When you say we, are you including me? Standing up ponderously, Susie turned around to face us. Her expression clearly said this would be more trouble than it was worth. Of course! After all, we're three hearts that beat as one, aren't we? We're just roommates. The corners of Susie's mouth turned down. I lunged at her and hugged her around the shoulders. Oh, come on. Don't be like that, Susie. Everybody needs a little help sometimes. You know? Have you ever helped me when I was in trouble, Ako? I'm always your guinea pig, aren't I? So you're telling me it's alright to keep experimenting on you. Whoa! Nice illustration. But it feels like, yeah, they're gonna do it. They're definitely gonna do it. They're all like, are you sure? Are you sure? But yeah, they're gonna do the thing. Susie's such a mood. That's good. All the characters here are very, 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 very lovable. I love how Susie's pretty much the only one that has the sharp teeth. But yeah, adorable illustrations. Let's go. Huh? That's Susie gave me a creepy grin, then thrust her open left hand out at me. 5 times. For what? If you'll let me experiment on you 5 times without complaining, I'll help you out. Isn't that too many? Hold up! You never give me a chance to complain anyway. And promise you won't keep whining about it after it's over. As you'd expect, I couldn't really give her an immediate answer, so I faltered. You see, Susie had gotten me so many times already. She'd turned my hair into a plant, and dosed me with a numbing potion while I was asleep. I'd grown a horsetail once and developed an abnormal appetite for carrots. Another time, I'd lost the ability to say anything except ha-he-hu-he-ho. There were so many things, I really couldn't count them all. I refused! Or at least, I almost refused. But then I saw Sifla, looking as if she might burst into tears at any moment. This deal is so unfair! Fine, but just 1 time. 4 times. 2. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay, fine. 3 times. I really can't handle any more than that. Well, alright. But remember, you promised. No running away. It's just 3 lousy times. Bring it on. You said it. Susie's eyes were usually drowsy, but they were suddenly wide and lively in quiet anticipation. Why is this happening? Susie nodded as she brushed fallen leaves off her knees. Okay, I'll help. I'm Susie Manbavaran. Nice to meet you, Sifla. She smirked as she suddenly turned to Sifla, who flinched and trembled in fear. It's nice to meet you. Oh, that's right. I do have one request. Huh? What is it? If we manage to find those 2, I'd like some elderflowers from the trees, not the ones on the ground. Oh, that's all? Sifla probably assumed she'd have to be a lab rat, too, but her shoulders relaxed when she realized that wasn't the case. They told me you're the one who collects poisons, Susie. Yeah, that's right. And elderflowers neutralize poison, so it makes sense that you want some. Besides, the elder tree has the greatest power of them all, you know. Really? I asked. Sifla nodded with the air of a teacher. It's a very important tree to us, presiding over death and rebirth and perfect for breaking wicked curses. Huh. Wow, Sifla, you're really smart. Even if she's the guardian of the hill, you're still getting schooled by a 6-year-old. I don't know, but I think you should be a little more ashamed of that. Susie shrugged. If you find those two, I'll give you as much as you want of anything you like. I could even give you leaves from all the sacred trees. That's real generous of you, Susie snickered. That's just how important Firas and Alan are to me. But in exchange, please make sure you find them for me. I'll do my best. Lotte exhaled sharply. The two of you just decide these things without really thinking them through. But she smiled as she handed her pot of herbal tea to Sifla. Hold on to this for me, okay? When we get back, we'll drink it together. Okay, thank you. Everyone else looked satisfied, but I tilted my head, thinking hard. Hey, maybe, just maybe, if Sifla was giving Susie a thank you present, maybe I didn't need to be her guinea pig after all, right? As I glanced over at her, Susie spoke coolly. Nope, you already promised. Why? It's called negotiating. If I'd made that deal with Sifla first, you never would have agreed to it. You planned that! Well, it doesn't really matter. Promise or no promise, you'd still be my lab rat anyway. Listening to Susie, Sifla burst out laughing for the first time. Aw. I was glad she was finally laughing, but this really didn't sit right with me. And? To start with, can you tell us what happened before they disappeared? At Lotte's question, Sifla's laughter froze as she came back to herself. It happened a few hours ago, she said, beginning her story. It was after sunset, just as the full moon was beginning to shine in the night sky. As usual, Sifla had gotten Fiera's milk ready. He was a big eater, it seemed, so he'd usually pester her for dinner as soon as night fell. But for some reason, he hadn't so much as glanced at his milk today. He'd wanted to go outside, scratching at the front door so much she thought something was out there. But when she'd opened the door to check, he dashed away, heading straight for the crown of the hill. She hadn't even had time to scream, "Where are you going?" Alan also bolted, sprinting away as fast as he could, even though he'd been curled up in a corner of a room a moment before. By the time she dashed out of the hut in a panic, it was already too late. The two boys, animals, had vanished into the night. Could they have run away from the hill? Sifla shut down my idea firmly. Absolutely not. When they disappeared, I immediately cast a barrier, so I know the moment they tried to cross it. I hummed. According to her, Fioras and Alan were bigger than your ordinary cat and dog. But if that were true, you'd think one of the students would have spotted them and tried to play with them already, right? Like, there are only a few places to hide on this hill, behind the rocks and trees. We should obviously cast a locating spell first. Do you want to try the one we learned in class the other day? Suggested Lotte. No! Let's use a spell that traces scents, insisted Susie. Although it might be difficult with all these Luna Nova students around. Oh, what about summoning a giant catnip plant? Like, one that's even bigger than Stone Dora's? They all ignored my idea. Hey! Everyone knows cats and catnip go together. As we tossed around some ideas, I noticed Sifla was fidgeting. What's the matter? Lotte peered into her face. She hesitated for a moment, clearly mulling something over and gathering her thoughts. It's possible they've gone to the country of the fairies. The country of the fairies? The three of us chorused. Grandmother once told me those two aren't ordinary pets. I think they're fairies, and they've been with her since she was a child. She told me I'd be a proper Sifla once I was able to hear them speak, but she cast her eyes down forlornly. But I couldn't understand a single thing they said. I could guess from their body language, but that was all. You know, I bet they got fed up with me. I promised I'd become a fine guardian like grandmother, but I'll always be a failure of a witch. Her voice was getting dark and super gloomy. I guess she might have seemed mature, but she really was just a 6-year-old girl. Wait, that wasn't the point. The end of her sentence was garbled with sobs, but I know what she was trying to say. I really understood how she felt. I mean, think about it. She was a lot like me. Like I couldn't even ride a broom, and the professors were constantly yelling at me. Whenever I made a mistake in class, everyone snorted and snickered at me. Every time that happened, I'd think about how I'd show them all. But even I got discouraged sometimes. But here's the thing. Wouldn't you want the people by your side to believe in you? Even if you were attempting the impossible? Let's go! I shouted. We'll head to the country of the fairies to look for them. Then we'll ask the two of them what they really think. We can't. Sifla shook her head in the same melancholy way. Not even the guardian is allowed to enter the country of the fairies without permission from the fairy king. We can't just open their gates, especially when we don't know if my friends are actually there. If I did that, I'd really be disqualified as their protector. Then I'll go there for you. Huh? Sifla's big eyes lifted toward me with a blank stare. Because, I don't have anything to lose. I mean, they might get a little mad if they see me. What can they do? But it's dangerous. There are all sorts of fairies. In fact, grandmother told me some of them are violent. It's okay. It's totally fine. I'll be okay as long as they don't find me, right? Okay. I might have been thinking she might teach me a special spell, or that my cleverness might leave the professor speechless. I was a little ashamed of myself. Right now, all I want to do is help Sifla get her self-confidence back. A believing heart is your magic, Sifla, I exclaimed, thumping my own chest. In order to start your story, you gotta reach your hand out. Whatever you do, you can't give up. You gotta believe in yourself. Listen, I believe in you, okay? Sifla looked taken aback, kinda just standing there with her eyes wide. Got it? Totally overwhelmed by my energetic spirit, she could only nod in response. But hey, my smile must have been infectious, cause Sifla's lips relaxed into a grin too. In that case, take this as my proxy. She slipped a bracelet woven from thin twigs onto my wrist. What's this? It's an amulet made from willow branches. See? We match. Sifla had an identical bracelet on her own wrist. It said, when willows are exposed to moonlight, they make our magic stronger. I have a feeling it might be useful somehow. It'll connect us together, Ako. She smiled and talked with a dignity far beyond her years. I found myself standing a little taller in response. Okay, I'm gonna head to the country of the fairies and find her cat and dog. Be right back, I casually promised, standing in front of stone doors. For starters, I just had to circle this thing 9 times, right? I was raring to go, but Lotte and Susie both looked seriously glum. Isn't this a little too dangerous? Of course, Lotte was full of fear. Susie tried to threaten me out of it. Remember what Diana said? The fairies won't forgive anybody who enters without their permission. I mean, yeah, it was scary. I really had no idea what might happen, and no one was going to be there to save me. I didn't want to get caught by the professors and expelled. Or worse, get caught by the fairies and die. But I really, really didn't want to leave Sifla. So sad. When I didn't say anything, they could probably tell I had made up my mind. And they heaved the biggest, greatest sighs of the year. Then they grabbed my shoulders, one on each side. Oh, Ako, you never stop surprising me. Well, it certainly keeps things from getting boring. Lotte was on my right, Susie was on my left. As I saw their weary smiles at close range, my face lit up. Really? You're coming with me? I mean, it would be so annoying to lose my guinea pig. And I don't think you'll be able to do anything on your own, Ako. Thank you! I love you both so much! I put my arms around them and pulled them close, holding tight. Gwah! Ako, you're hurting me! Oh, sorry! I zipped my lips shut. Lotte raised her shoulders. We'll come with you on one condition. Don't do anything reckless. I won't. Thanks, Lotte. I said be quiet. I don't see this ending well. The two of them looked grim, but I couldn't just stop beaming. Taking both their arms at once, I took a firm step forward with newfound excitement. 1 round, 2 rounds, 3. We walked around Stone Doras at a glacial pace so we wouldn't get spotted by the teachers or Diana's sharp-eyed group. At times, we even got down on our hands and knees to pretend to search for something in the wildflowers. 4, 5, 6. They'd get suspicious if we hurried, so we sat down on the ground from time to time, pretending to chat casually. But we were actually scooting on our rears ever so slowly to the finish line. 7, 8, and then... That makes 9 times, I think. I gulped as I drew myself up to my full height and menacingly glared at Stone Doras. Would lightning strike? Would we ever hear bone-chilling moans and groans? Would a stone fortress fly up out of the ground in a rumble? I'd hoped for something extraordinary, but nothing happened. Oh, come on, what gives? Say, is it getting mistier? Lotte shrank back. Was it? Nothing seemed different to me. Well, I guess she's right. Yeah, our surroundings were a little hazier than before, and the other students seemed more distant and kind of fuzzy. Ako, there's something over there. Huh? Susie was pointing at the ground between the 2 towering boulders. Right in the middle of them was a square hole that hadn't been there a minute ago. Yes, it's the entrance. I sprang forward, peering down inside. It looked like a long, long stairway headed underground, and it was so pitch black I couldn't see anything else. I guess we just have to go down. Ako, this is dangerous. Oh, it'll be fine, it's just stairs. My chest was swelling with more excitement than fear. I mean, this was the entrance to the country of the fairies. To think we'd actually find something like that. Nervously, Lotte peeked over my shoulder into the hole, and Susie had taken a flask out of the robe to bottle up some of the white fog. Did she carry that around with her all the time? Lotte, Susie, are you ready? Because I'm heading down. I guess there's no point in turning back now. I hope I can find some poisonous plants or mushrooms. At the very least. Oh! Ooh, downstairs. They're going downstairs. Akko's just really excited. And Lotte's just so worried. I love the illustrations over here. Very, very adventurous. Well, she has a mission. She knows it's risky, but, she gotta bring a smile back to, the baby's face. Susie's just like, As long as it benefits her, like, why not, right? Alright. So cute. Alright. I'm sure they've got those. After all, it's the country of the fairies. I bounded down the stairs. They were a little narrow, so we had to go single file. I went first, then Lotte, then Susie. Or that was how it was supposed to go. Oh no, I can't see a thing. As we went farther and farther down, our surroundings became so dark, even I started to feel a little jumpy. Thankfully, I heard Lotte singing softly, and the gentle green light illuminated the stairwell. When I looked back, the lantern in her hand was glowing. Well, the spirit sitting quietly inside, to be exact. Now that I could finally see Lotte and Susie's faces again, I was back in full swing. We'll be safe now that we can see where we're walking, huh? Thanks a bunch, Lotte. By the way, the spirit sitting quietly in the lantern. It's probably this one. If you guys could look at this, it's so cute. Now where were we? Safe. Oh, are we really safe? Yeah. Lotte was still in low spirits, but I think she cheered up just a little too. She was a lot of help. I continued to boldly descend one step at a time. Down the stairs made of cool, rugged rock. It was pretty misty down there. From time to time, a breeze carried the smell of damp earth and grassy leaves, tickling our noses. All this reminded me that we were really going underground. When we finally reached the bottom of the stairs, there was a narrow tunnel just wide enough for one person. Well, there was nowhere else for us to go, so we timidly trudged on. Lotte hid behind me and slunk forward nervously, and behind her, Susie felt her way along the wall. She was probably gathering moss or something. At a time like this, I swear, she really does march to the beat of her own drum. Anyway, the tunnel was much longer than I thought it would be. We walked and walked and walked some more, and we still couldn't see the end of it. But it gradually grew wider. At first, we had to go in single file, but as we went on, it became wide enough for us to walk side by side, holding hands. We continued on another 10 minutes or so when a shrill voice echoed down the tunnel to reach our ears. Now let the king's coronation ceremony begin! Din din! That's the end of chapter 3! That's the end of chapter 3. We're gonna check out the amount of chapters that we have. I think we have a lot. There's still a lot more in this book. This is probably like 1/4 of the book of volume 1. So there's still a lot of things to read. But hold on, let me just turn on the BGM. How is it, everybody? How is it so far? I'm probably gonna move to the other screen next time. But how is it? I just want to know. Yeah, it's not over. I'm reading from chapter 1 to 3. Just the perfect cliffhanger. But yes, volume 1 still has a lot of chapters to check out. I feel like we're stopping at just the right moments, like a cliffhanger. If you're interested, you can check out. You can check the description. You can buy an ebook copy of Little Witch Academia and read. But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna switch to this window. Hold on, excuse me. All right. How was it, everybody? How was it? Yeah, it's really interesting. So between chapter 1 and 2 and 3, what's your favorite moment so far? What's your favorite moment? What's your favorite moment? Like, for those of you who are wondering, for those of you who haven't watched the series, so this story is completely different from what we have in the series and the movie. They all have different stories. Yeah. I hummed. Diana. Yes, Diana is pretty popular. I like Diana. She is cool. And it's really interesting to see Diana's depiction in the light novel. Because, hold on, excuse me. Because it seems like she's this character that, depending on, the timeline or her relationship with Ako and everybody, she kind of like behaves differently. And it's always pretty exciting to see the differences. The character introduction. I don't know any single one, so them being introduced is great. Yeah. Yes, I guess it's like a light novel, right? So, and the characters were probably familiar to some people, but I guess the cute illustration, the character introduction is very good. You can know who these people are without actually having to describe too much in the text, and it feels nice because you're already like familiar with this character. This one is Ako's friend, this one is it's just a really concise introduction, not to mention with the short description and the illustration. I feel like most of the characters have appeared in the first 3 chapters. Like, we had Amanda and the gang that showed up with the broom, and we had Diana and her friends. We have the teacher, Ursula Sensei, and we have Ako and Lotte and Susie. And Sifla, we met Sifla, and then the two friends. We were searching, we haven't really seen them yet. So if you want to see them, you can read the continuation. The anime is amazing. Indeed. And I'm really, very, very happy. I was really excited to read this, and I'm really, really happy to know that the light novel really does capture the same magic that they also have in the series, the animated movie too. Like, you clearly can see the characterization of Ako and Susie and Lotte like shining really bright. This Little Witch Academia has these lovely characters, and wow, like, I know, like, you guys probably have your favorites, like, due to personal like preferences, of course. But if you were to ask me, there's really no way that you can dislike a character, because all of them are really, 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 really lovely. Yeah, they don't feel different from the anime, right? You can read this and you can imagine the scene playing out in your head. Like, what if it has like visuals and audio and voice It's really good. I love it so much. Even Broom-kun. Well, Broom-kun and Ako has some kind of personal problem they need to solve by themselves, probably. It's probably none of our business. Hold on, excuse me. Let me just yeah. Wow. The characters are really fun to see. If you want to know more, buy it as per description. Of course, you can check out. you can check out the description. It says the complete information and also the link if you want to buy it. And yes, if you're new to Bookwalker, again, Bookwalker is an ebook store. They sell manga, light novels, and magazines. They're from Japan. And you know, if you wanna dive into the world of ebooks, which you should, ebooks are life changing. You know, you can, if you're new, sorry. You can use my code. It says Reine, and you can get. I'm trying to read off the scrolling text, but it's taking its time. Use code Reine to get 600 JPY off. If you're wondering, 600 yen is probably like $5 US. It's great. The platform is really great because you can just like browse anything you want. Maybe if you have a specific title in mind, or if you want to browse for a new series. I'm actually gonna do that probably. I kind of want to explore new stuff lately. I wonder what the text looks like at maximum scroll speed. Your wish is my command. No. Wait, okay, let's return this to the original speed. It can take its time. It's tired, okay? Oh, somebody on the chat. I highly recommend Bookwalker as they even sell you the raw light novels as well. Wow, we have a loyal user. Yeah, the world of ebooks is very interesting. But yes. What else should we talk about? When it comes to Little Witch Academia, I really want to read. Maybe I'll read. Maybe I'll read by myself because I'm just really curious on what's gonna happen next. I want to know what happens next. It's also my first time reading, so I'm pretty much the same with most of you guys, probably. Constance, great girl or greatest girl? Everybody is greatest girl. No, it's not my first time reading in my life. No, it's my first time reading the Little Witch Academia light novel. No, it's not my first time reading. I can read. See, I'm reading what you guys are writing. I can read. Please remember that I can read. Brooms in Little Witch Academia are for flying. Reine's broom, on the other hand, what happened to it? I wonder. I'm just gonna ignore that. But can you write? Of course! You see me write all the time. Well, sometimes. I can't prove it now. But trust me, I can write. I can't prove it now. Maybe next time. I'm sorry. Please accept this claim without, with insufficient evidence. Yeah, sus, but okay, I'll believe you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But can I talk? Oh my gosh, can I talk? I wonder. If I get one curse from Susie, which curse would I want? Probably grow a plant on my head. I think that would be pretty funny. Nothing too harmful, and as long as it, you know, it expires quick or there's like an antidote, I would be fine with that. You know, like it's cute. What plant would you want that to be? I don't know. I don't know. What plant? Like a pretty flower? Which of the two main characters from Nightfall do you like most? That's one thing I need to read. I need to get along. I need to get along with Lotte, and maybe she will be able to, you know, she will try to get me into Nightfall easily. But first, I gotta ask the expert first. Permanent head plant, no need for food. Imagine if we have like oranges on our heads, and whenever we're hungry, we can just like, oh, let's grab some orange off our head and let's eat. Yeah, I feel like that's great. Hold on. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I'm glad this is the first time I'm doing a live reading, and you know, if you like it, maybe we can do more in the future. Yeah. I feel like for a lot of people it's kind of like a bedtime story, so if you like it, maybe we can read some more stuff in the future, or maybe with a different time slot, maybe. Yeah, I hope you do more live reading. Thank you. More reading streams, yeah. By the way, Reine, have you prepared ingredients for tomorrow? Have I? I'll do that very soon. But yeah. Yes. Maybe next time in nighttime JST. Yeah, maybe we can have a different time slot. Okay, good. It's so good. I'm so curious about what's gonna happen next. And you know, if you just look at Bookwalker's database, they have like just a lot of stuff. So I'm just gonna browse some stuff too, maybe, and see what I can read from there. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm gonna be doing reading the donations like shortly. Hold on. Hold on. Gonna be reading donations really shortly. They're gonna be short, and maybe we can talk a little bit more about stuff about Little Witch Academia. I really strongly recommend, if you liked what you just heard, you just listened to, the anime or the light novel. Yeah, it has a very similar vibe. Like, of course the story is different, but that's a good thing, right? Because the story is different. But yes, you can get it because it's so good. It's so good. I have really limited vocabulary when I really like something. I just say like, it's so good. That's what I can say. Alright. We're actually gonna start from the Streamlabs now. Hold on. And then we have Skimia. Hi Reine, this is my first donation to you, and I hope you like my fiction that I write every week on Twitter. Thank you! Yes, if you know my art hashtag, Renaissance, they're not actually for visual art, like written art, like fanfic, or other stuff, or even other creative stuff. They're also art, so you're always welcome to, use the hashtag if you want to do something. Even if you make, say, you cook something and you make it I don't know, kind of rainy-ish, you can post it. You can use the art tag. Art is very broad, you know. Thank you so much. I like reading so much. I like reading, especially like reading fiction. So yes, I do appreciate it every time. And we have Drake Boogaloo. Good morning or evening, Rainy. I'm excited for today's stream. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. And we have Drake Boogaloo, such a soothing voice. I'm not falling asleep. Aww. Yeah, for a lot of peeps, this is kind of like a bedtime story, huh? It's fun. Even if you fall asleep, there's always the archive. You can always, you know, listen to it when you're more awake. Bedtime stories with Rainy. And we have track 6. Good evening, Rainy. It's very late here, so I'll be listening to your Little Witch Academia reading while I go to sleep. I just want to say, Susie is best witch. Susie is a very, very interesting character. I love her. That's the thing. Everybody in this series, it's so unique. You can't really, like... I can't really rank them because they're all so good. If anything, it's probably just like something very personal. Like, for example, like, oh, I like Diana because I don't know, probably because she has blonde hair or she has long hair. But personality wise, everybody is really top tier. I love it. Yeah, this is one of the stories where there is no best girl since all of them are. Truth has been spoken. Really, I'm serious. And we have Kita, 3rd time's the charm after Streamlabs nonsense. Did you notice your meeps sound kinda like a peacock? Someone made a version of your BGM using peacock noises and your meeps. Man, they really do sound similar. How weird. What do you mean? I'm a peacock. What's so weird about that? What's so weird? I don't think that's weird. I think I saw that in the video. But thank you so much for the donation. Yes. And we have Drake Boogaloo. Amazing story so far. Zzz, I'm not asleep. Rainy has an amazing reading voice. Sleep well. I hope you sleep well. Yeah, the story is really amazing. I personally am really, really, really invested in it. I just want to read. I just want to read more. Yeah. Oh, Ursula is best girl. Yeah, even Ursula Sensei is really good. I like her. I like everybody, honestly. And we have... Hold on. There. I just gotta double check. Something really, really quick. Something really, really quick. Hey, also, the anime, the Little Witch Academia anime has really, really good soundtrack. So you know, I want to check it out. You have time. Do 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 do. La 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 la. Right. We have Drake Electric Boogaloo, thank you very much for the super chat. We have Francis D. It's been a very long day. I'm ready for my bedtime story. Ne-san, otsukare. Otsukare. It's been a long day for some of you guys. I hope the stream was healing enough for everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, the game also have good visuals. Yes. I gave the game a bit of a try. I haven't finished it though. And we have Kan Nguyen. Reminds me of Little Witch's Diary manga. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. And we have Villain. Package is on its way. I didn't fall asleep until 6 a.m. in the morning, thinking about just couldn't sleep for some reason. Aw. Thank you. I'll be waiting. Please sleep. Please have enough rest. Please have enough rest. I want everybody here to have as much rest as they can. But sometimes it happens, you know, when you're busy, you don't have that much time to rest. Sometimes I do that too. Like this week, my schedule's been pretty packed, so I just make sure to, you know, just steal some rest time when I can. Just take care of yourselves, people. Take care of yourself so we can, you know, we can always meet in, you know, 100% condition. It's very important to, you know, take care of your health. But yeah, we have Thicklad, Bishop of the Church of Holy Peafowl. 12 a.m. gang, time to F up the sleep schedule right before the weekend, but Raine's soothing voice is worth one tired Friday at work. Take a break soon so I can catch up on all the VODs and you can clean your damn room. No, why are you guys... what's with me in my room? Leave my room alone. But yeah, that's good. Yeah, weekend starts really soon, so yeah, otsukare, good work for everyone who survived the weekdays. Hopefully you guys can rest since the weekends are coming. And for those of you who can't rest yet, because yeah, that kind of thing happens sometimes. Even though it's weekend, you can't really rest. I hope you get your chance to rest soon. Rest is very important. Make sure you find time to recover so that you can face the day 100%. Next week is even painful, so your voice is saving me. Yeah, there are some times when, sometimes you get really busy, there's a period of time where you get busy, or, some stuff just happened. So good luck to everybody trying to survive the week and next week too. And we have Bishop Wrestler. Thank you so much, lol. Thank you. What was the context of this one? I don't really remember. It was from one of the first chapters, I feel like. Thank you for the super chat. And we have No9. I normally doze to audiobooks, but tonight I can doze to Reine. Thank you for the stream. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And if you guys enjoyed the live reading stream, maybe we can do more another time. You can read something else, or maybe a comic next time, or I don't know, whatever you want. Thank you. And we have, hold on. We have Intestinal Clouds KFP Obituary. Sorry. We have Intestinal Clouds KFP Obituary Writer. Since you're a fan of Little Witch Academia, I'd recommend checking out this animated series called The Owl House. It has similar premise and has a lot of sweet and goofy moments you'll love. Oh, I'll take a look. Thank you very much for the recommendation. Thank you for the super chat. We have Sydney Adnopos. I wanna have Ursula's babies. Okay, I see. Thank you for telling me, and thank you for the super chat. But Ursula Sensei really is an amazing character. She is so cute too. Thank you for the super chat. And okay, we're SSC. And we have Drake Electric Boogaloo VX. Hydration reminder. Okay, let's hydrate. Hold on. Hydration is very important. Yay! And we have Technez Marakyat's Doormat. Thank you so much for the super chat. We have Jesse Lockhart, Eastern Standard Time Royal Tears. Thank you for the wonderful bedtime story you've given us. Ooh. Yay! Thank you for the super chat. I hope you enjoyed it. And we have Subi. I'm probably gonna send it to the wrong address, but can I gift you a kitchen sink? I'm gonna get some beautiful sleep. Bye all. Thank you. I hope you have a great sleep. And thank you so much for the super chat. Sending a sink I don't know. I mean, if you wanna send stuff, you can send it. I think in the cover hololive website there are directions, like if you wanna send gifts to talents. But there's also a guidelines of what you can send and what you cannot send. So in case you ever want to, please do check it out. How do you send an entire sink? I'm not sure. I'm not sure myself. And we have Ryan Sagala, Merakyat Paid Actors Association. Blessed to have you read this in the background when I'm doing other stuff. That's good, that's good. Yeah, like I said, sometimes we have a lot of people who, listen to me while they're doing their stuff. And I'm glad that, my voice can help you, do your work, cheer you up. I really, really appreciate it. And good luck with whatever you guys are doing. Thank you. And we have Axolotl, Ray Narrator, Best Narrator. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm really, really happy that you enjoyed my narration. And we have Bobby. Thank you so much for the super chat. Rainy reading me a book at work. That's a win. Yes, I'm reading a book while you're at work. Thank you. And we have Brian Hitchner. Rainy leaves us right at the edge. It's fine. Thanks for reading. I'm glad we got insight into Ako's internal thoughts. Yeah, I feel like, when you watch the anime, you don't really see a lot of Ako's internal monologue, right? Because she mostly shows what she's thinking directly with her actions. But since this is a light novel, you can definitely see her, thought process and everything. And that's really, really interesting. Honestly, to me too, that is something new. Because, she's usually this reckless type, and her action speaks louder. She's just a very action-oriented person. Yeah, the anime didn't really show much of her thoughts. Right. But it's really nice to be able to listen or read, dive into, her head and, see her thought process and see what she's actually thinking. The little details about, her problems with confidence. Honestly, it's too real, the way she sees herself in Sifla. Yeah, that's too real. It's fun seeing her logic. Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. And we have Pig. Susie herself is a reference to Southeast Asia. Mambavarang is Mambabarang, or a variation of a witch. Does ID have an equivalent? Also, Ursula, best girl. Oh, so that's where it's from. Okay. Does ID have an equivalent? I am really not sure. Because the word for witch is in Indonesian is penyihir, which kind of roughly translates to quote unquote magic user. It's not the magician kind of magic. Yeah, but it roughly translates to that. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but maybe we can talk about it another time. I'm gonna actually look it up. Interesting. Thank you. And we have Ryan Sagala, Merakyat Paid Actors Association. Main content of reading is over. Now for the main content of reading. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hold on. Yeah, we kind of joke around on our regular streams that, the super chat reading is kind of the main event and stuff like that. But that's only because, I go on tangents. I talk to you guys a lot. But this one we're gonna just read briefly. Thank you. And we have Dull Life Dan, best girl is Rainy. Thank you. We have Michael Psycho, such a soothing voice, perfect for bedtime. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and thank you very much for the super chat. you have tiny toasters? Are you looking forward to the weekend? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. We have a lot of stuff happening in the weekend. I'll let you guys know. You guys will be able to see the schedule later. Thank you so much. Hope you guys are looking forward to the weekend too. We have Villain. Just woke up in time for Super Chat. Sorry I fell asleep. I am so tired. No problem, no problem. Archive is not going anywhere. And also, it's good. It's good to have a rest once in a while. So, treasure the sleep. You know, sometimes people are like, I don't like sleep. Who needs sleep? But as soon as they start, getting robbed of their sleep hours, you gotta, treasure the times you have to actually sleep. Yeah. And and we have Siuhan. Thank you so much for the super chat. And hold on, let me just check a little bit more. We have Azizul. Have you happened to be a witch yourself? Because you bewitch me with your magical, calming voice. And sure, Ursula is pretty badass and all, but would you willingly be my Sula? I see. Thank you very much for the donation. Sneaking in some flirt labs, but yeah. Sorry. That is it for today. Not today. That is it for this morning. Later on, we will have a collaboration. We will see. We'll see later in the schedule. You guys will see what's gonna happen. But for now, thank you very much for listening to the stream. As usual, if you're interested to read the continuation of Little Witch Academia, or you're just excited to check out the world of ebooks, you can check out Bookwalker in the description below. Links on the description. If you use the code Reine, not case sensitive, so you can type it like all uppercase, all lowercase, or like big R, small e, big I. You can type whatever in whatever way you want. Yeah, you can get a coupon about like 600 Japanese yen. So that's really good if you want to get yourself starting into reading. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. Terima kasih semuanya atas perhatiannya. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm signing off today. Not today, this morning. Salam rakyat. Bye-bye, everybody.